August 13th, 2012, Monday. 0300 came all too soon. Midas, Darkspeed, and Virtuoso all appeared in first team dorm. Midas was dead tired and Virtuoso could sense it. "Joseph, why don't you let me help you sleep?" Virtuoso said. "Will that make my power go off?" "No, and if anything, your powers will be really dormant while you're out." "Sounds good to me, but you can't come in my room. Alarms will go off, remember? Just sleep here on the couch." Virtuoso led him to a large, comfortable couch. "Connors will be here at 0600 for exercise, remember?" "Right, I'm off to bed," Darkspeed said as he left the room. Midas lay on the couch and Virtuoso touched his head. He fell into a deep sleep he could never achieve on his own. Virtuoso then looked over at Reggie, the butler bot. "Make sure you wake everyone at 0550, except Midas. I'll wake him up myself." "I will do as you request," Reggie said. Virtuoso teleported straight to her bed and used her powers to calm her mind. Sleep came quickly. Now, all of the alphas were sound asleep. At the appointed time, Reggie was knocking on doors and waking first team. Virtuoso came straight out and woke Midas. Then they all went about using the restrooms and putting grays on. Darkspeed was ready before any of them. 1 minute before Connors arrives," Darkspeed called out. Virtuoso was moving a little slow and looked sleepy. Bioforce sensed that she was not rested. Without hesitating, Bioforce reached over and touched her teammate. Virtuoso took a deep breath in. "Wow, that feels like I just had another 8 hours sleep and a pot of coffee." "You made her feel like she had a full night's sleep?" Darkspeed asked. "No, I regenerated and rejuvenated her like she did actually have a good night's sleep," Bioforce said. Darkspeed thought quickly to himself and said, "Why don't you do that all the way around? That way, nobody shows fatigue from last night. Connors may not let us go again if it interferes with training." Bioforce nodded and started to touch everyone in the group, ending with Olympian. "You're so hard to heal." She put effort behind her power to push her healing effect past his invulnerability. "What can I say? It's a gift," Olympian said. "Kind of like a great Greek dove was a gift to your mother," she said with a smirk. "Hey now, call me what you want, but never drag my mother into it." The door to first dorm swung open. Connors entered the room wearing grays and carrying a clipboard. "Good to see you're all ready. Virtuoso, get them into the pit," he said. The team all reached to touch Virtuoso. Darkspeed looked up after he touched her. Connors was gone. They all appeared in the pit in front of Connors. The sun was not up yet, and spotlights speckled the side of the pit. "How did you get here so fast?" Midas asked. "Not that fast. Darkspeed could have gotten here faster. A better question is what took you so long. Next time, you should beat me here. Look here." Connors walked over to a metallic box that was already in the pit. "There is a gravity workout suit in here for each of you. Put them on." Soon, each of the team members were wearing a heavy and cumbersome suit that covered them from knee to neck and out to the elbow. They were gray in color, 1.5 inches thick and stiff. "What are these for?" Olympian asked. "Midas, turn the floor of the pit to the advanced steel alloy you use," Connors said. Midas touched the floor of the pit and it changed quickly. "All done," he said. "Now, Olympian, use the controls on the front of your GWS to activate it," Connors instructed. Olympian did as he was told. He was pulled toward the ground quickly, catching himself from falling at the last second. "What was that?" "The GWS increases gravity around you to match your strength. You now weigh enough that push-ups will count as a workout." Connors stepped back. "Everyone, activate your GWS and spread out for exercises." The workout seemed to drone on forever. 40 minutes solid of military-style exercises, then 20 minutes of sprinting. The sun was just starting to peak up for the day to start, and first team was covered in sweat. Exactly at the 1 hour mark, Connors stopped them. "Good job. We do it again, same time tomorrow. Leave your GWS in the box and hit the showers. Midas, put the pit back the way it was. You have 1 hour to be in class. I'll see you this afternoon." First team quickly rid themselves of the suits that made their workout so hard. Virtuoso held her head high as she teleported them back to the dorm. "Everyone change quickly. I have a surprise," she said. "I think I'm going to die." Virtuoso dropped onto her backside in the common room. "You didn't look that tired back in the pit," she said as she tried to help her up. "I didn't want Connors to know I was tired." "Hey, I'm the red shirt and I'm alive," Midas said. Olympian and Darkspeed were already in their room showering. Bioforce came over to see how Virtuoso was doing. "Jilly, would you like me to heal you up faster?" Bioforce said. Will it get me hooked or anything? Virtuoso asked. No, it will be like you regenerated from today's workout, the same as if you were to get over the soreness in a few days. Okay, do it, Virtuoso said as she reached for Bioforce's hand. Sign me up for that too, Midas said. She smiled and headed for her room. Don't you want some healing too? No, I regenerate on my own, she said. I guess that makes us the weak ones, Virtuoso said and stood up. Speak for yourself, Midas said as Bioforce touched him. We have 2 team members with near unlimited endurance and one who heals super fast. I'm speaking for you too, Red Shirt, Virtuoso said. I heal fast too, and so does Darkspeed, Bioforce said. See, Joseph, just you and me, Virtuoso said as she headed for her room. I like my delusional reality better than yours, Midas said. A few minutes later, First Team came out of their rooms and she was waiting. She was smiling next to 6 boxes. One at a time, she handed 1 box to each Alpha. What are these? Darkspeed asked. New uniforms, all based on the nano armor, she said. Olympian was the first to open his box and look at his armor. Everyone else soon followed suit. His eyes glazed over at the shiny black armor. You put hard plates all over and added the red cape. Olympian kept turning the uniform over in his hands. Greek writing here. Strength, honor, duty, family, this is perfect. Even the shin guards are like old hoplite armor. And the crimson cape stretches. Olympian was still running his hands over the hard abdominal armor and the chiseled muscles that were represented in it. Darkspeed looked at his uniform. It had less hard plates than Olympian's. He looked closer at the fabric and noticed his was different. Is this the same nanomail that you made for yours? No, we had to break up the nanomail into small sheets and overlap them like old scale mail to let them slide. With your speed, we had to take a different approach to the fabric. To keep the same protective qualities, we had to increase the power consumption used by the energy web. But we managed to use your speed to recharge the batteries. Every time you run, you slide thousands of those little scale mail plates over each other, and it generates electricity to recharge the nanobatteries. We need to get to breakfast, Bioforce said. Do we want to wear these today? Olympian asked. We could, she responded. We didn't clear it with Connors, Midas said. Darkspeed shook his head and said, I don't know. Olympian was quick to try to persuade his leader. Connors wanted us to do everything as a team. If we all wear them, we're good. What do you say? Hey, Nano Black is the new old black, right? Virtuoso said. What? Midas blurted. Fashion thing, she said. Okay, let's put them on. Darkspeed took his box back to his room. Bioforce shrugged, not convinced that she would wear one of these things. I guess my vote didn't count. Please give it a try. I made yours especially for you, she said. Okay, but if it's horrid, I get to say so. Midas put his uniform on in his room. His armor was lighter, like Darkspeed's, but with his hands uncovered. He noticed Celtic designs recessed into the hard plates. On the side of his forearm plates, he could barely see black-on-black writing that said, Midas, the unexpected superhero. In the knee pockets, he found several samples of materials he had used before. Each one had its name carved into the side. Jet must have put a lot of effort into this, he thought. Bioforce held her uniform up and noticed it seemed exceptionally light, lighter than the special shifting grays she was given. Her uniform had no hard plates of any kind. It didn't have a utility belt either. She put the uniform on and felt it flow onto her. It was like a liquid that stuck to her like warm water. She tested it by changing into a tigress in her room. The uniform spread thin and changed to a transparent color. Still a great cat, she looked closely at her front leg. The nano armor was thin and spread on her skin. It had allowed the tiger hair to move through it. Bioforce was now thoroughly impressed with the capability of the suit. She didn't like how it hugged her forearm. Virtuoso walked out into the common room with her uniform on. I love it! I take it mine's just like yours? Just like mine. As we move forward, you can let me know if you need things added, she said.